Our next storyteller is our youngest storyteller, Myriam Leon. And the first time I met her, she was like bubbling over with excitement about the comparison of Raisin in the Sun, a play she was reading in school, with a Greek play called Antigone that I didn't tell her I hadn't even read. She's full of enthusiasm for life and learning. She has, a lot on her plate, and what she wrote here is she's a sophomore at Sequoia High School. She's an active member of the Dream Club there, and I should tell you the person who started the Dream Club is in our audience, and she has inspired so many young people. I'm so honored to have gotten to know Jane Slater. And in addition of that, she's a member of the Immigrant Youth Action Team, and Myriam loves spending time with her family, who I think are here today, and we're glad you're here, and her dog Rocky, who I don't think is here, right? Okay, Myriam.
So I'm sitting in my ICAP English class, which is like an AP class at any other high school. The classrooms are organized in such a way where our desks are angled at an angle, where you can look at the board and, look at your partner. My partner leans over and says, "Immigrants shouldn't be here. They're a negative weight on us. There aren't positive contributors to our community." While he doesn't know I'm undocumented, he does know I'm an active member of Dream Club who advocates for the undocumented youth in our community. He doesn't know this scares me. Whatever he tells me, the way he talks to trigger a reaction out of me, it frightens me. We now have a U.S. president who wants to enforce mass deportation. And although there are a few teachers and many students who have voiced their support for the undocumented youth, there are still people who have a negative voice on us. We even have a Republican that just sprang up out of all of a sudden after the elections. Since that day in English class, I haven't been the same around him. While we sit a few feet apart from each other, there's a great division between us. I'd wonder if he makes those comments if he knew me better. I wonder if he'd feel the same way if he knew how hard my parents worked. My father, he works 2 jobs. He works by day as a tile installer, and by night he goes and works as a janitor. My brother, he also works with my dad during the day, and in the evenings he'll go to college hoping to become a firefighter one day. My mom, she's a full-time mother by day and goes to work at night, almost not having sleep. I normally take care of my siblings when I come home. I come home and I fix them up whatever we have on the stove and make sure they eat. And then I go with them and sit them down so that they can do their homework. And most often they'll listen to me, but there are sometimes they'll tell me, "You're not my mom." And I get it. After they finally did whatever they had to do, I put them to bed, and that's when I have time to study and do my homework. This is around 10. So I don't finish. In the mornings, I get up at 6 so I can go get a ride for my dad to school. I arrive an hour before school starts, and I go into a classroom, which was a college readiness class taught by Mr. Stalder. And I finished my homework there where I can finally get some peace and quiet. For a while, we lived in an apartment that was right in front of my school, Sequoia, in Redwood City. It was a big apartment, it's bigger than the house I live in now. And it was so clean and had roads, and there was even a tree in front of our apartment where I could climb, and I had such a great time there. And I never had to worry about the things I had to worry about now. We now live in East Palo Alto where it's really crowded. My streets are dirt roads, and there's always music blasting that distracts me and my siblings. It's not somewhere where at first I'd feel safe. It's not somewhere I was used to. And it's definitely not somewhere where I think I can take care of my siblings and me by myself. And it's crowded. I live with 3 other families. And this happens a lot for people in East Palo Alto. There are normally people that have 4 to 5 families living in their house. And this is why the roads get so crowded, because there's cars, crowded with them. I'd wonder if he knew how hard we are trying to be self-sufficient and productive, positive contributors in our community. If he'd only change his mind. The boy in my English class, he's in that new Republican club I've mentioned before. I've seen pictures of his house, and I'd imagine, wow, what it'd be like to live in a house like that. I'd only imagine to have my own room, not have to be crowded and rushing into the bathroom to beat the other people living at my house. I'd imagine he has all the fruits he can wish, all the lucky charms he can have, not having to fight for it because there's more. I bet he goes to restaurants and he doesn't have to worry about the bills. I bet he doesn't have to look at the price before he orders because he knows their parents are fighting every month to give you something. He doesn't worry about taking care of his family or his parents when they grow old, knowing that they won't have any money by then. Not worrying that one day he'll have to care for them because his family won't make it. I don't say anything to him. I don't trust him to know I'm undocumented. I'd feel like he'd invalidate me as a person, as a human being. He probably wouldn't understand me or want to understand me. But like him, I've only grown up in the Bay Area. It's the only place I can call home, whether he thinks it's my home or not. Maybe my assumptions about him are wrong. Maybe he takes care of someone in his family who is sick. Maybe he has experienced death in some way. Maybe he does volunteer work at a charity. Or maybe he has a disease I don't know about. But I can't take my chances. I have to focus on the things that I can do for myself and my family, and keep faith that there's a bright future for us. I have a rigorous and demanding class schedule that demands my focus. Soon I'll be 17 and probably have to get a job to help my family financially. In 2 years, I'll be applying to colleges and scholarships if they are available for me. My goal is to get through law school, and help other immigrants of low-income families. On a deeper level, I want to believe that people are good and have love for us. and can see us as people and not be adamant about building walls. I have numerous Caucasian friends. In fact, I convinced 2 of them to join the Dream Club. I know that once you get to know someone, beyond stereotypes, you often find things you have in common and can become friends. But in today's climate, I think that this classmate and mine are not only destined to sit 3 feet away from each other, but a universe apart. Thank you.